wasn't sick. But it was traumatizing. No child, regardless of damage, regardless if they end up, God forbid, dying because they were left in the heat, wants to be left behind. And no parent wants to be that parent to protect, that they can't protect them if they're at work because they've left them at a daycare. They want to make sure that those kids are okay.
I have to ask you guys, been around a while. Can I tell you how many of these news conferences I've been to where lawmakers are introducing a bill that never goes through? Do you think this will go through, and why?
I do. I think this has a very good chance of going through both on the House and on the Senate, because no one wants their child to have this experience, or to have the parents have this experience. So this is a no-brainer. I mean, there's no legislator that would say no to this. There's no reason for them to say no to this. So I have good confidence that this bill will be heard. We'll probably have 3 committees before it goes to the floor on each the Senate and the House side. I think it's a good bill, and I think it will pass.
There's been a lot of no-brainers. A lot of no-brainers. The nation's dealing with.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And this really is a simple bill, and I would say that 90% of the legislators have kids. They had these same concerns. I know I had one daughter, and I would freak out sometimes just trying to make sure that I double-check, triple-check, quadruple-check to make sure that my daughter was not still in the car, because I dropped off every day, picked her up every day. But when we're talking about the cost of this device, we're talking about something between $100 and $500. And so that cost can be spread across 3 kids or 5 kids. So it could be something as low as $10 a month extra. But again, if that's going to guarantee, or at least add to the guarantee of the safety of your child, then $10 a month is certainly worth it. I hope I answered your question.
You did. I'm just trying to figure out if you can get your fellow lawmakers to pass it.
They will pass it. Once we get it on the agenda, it will be hard for anybody to vote against this, and I'm pretty sure that we will get this passed. But I understand what you're saying.
Now, as a fellow legislator, a fellow colleague, I know I have made sure that I put my support behind this. But also, it's important to our parents, as well as our media, to make sure this particular issue stays at the forefront. It takes more than just a legislator to get things done. Yes, I've been in the process for a long time, and yes, everything does not get passed in 1 year. Sometimes it takes 8, sometimes it takes 5. But when there is pressure on all ends, it's the media that's involved in getting those viewers engaged in this issue, and knowing that this is an added insurance to make sure our children are a priority. Now, granted, I'm not talking on behalf of a parent. I am not a parent. But what we have to do is protect our children. These are helpless children. A 2 or 3 year old typically does not know how to unlock a van and get themselves out. They're always looking to that authoritative figure, whether that is a caregiver, whether that is a mom, whether that is an aunt, whether that is a teacher. It is up to us to make sure on all fronts, legislators, community leaders, those that are within these daycare centers, those that own them, but also the state who regulates them. We all have to, and like I say, the media, you have a bigger voice than I do, or than we do. But it's important that we all across the state of Florida make sure we send a message today that our children are our priority.
Can you give us a timeline? Have you already introduced the bill, and when can we see it kind of move forward in committees and stuff?
The bill came out a draft, and we got a number for it, and we're waiting for the bill to be assigned, and I think that's the same case with you, Representative. You get a bill number, and then you wait for the Rules Committee to assign what 3 committees it's going to, and I don't think that's been done yet, but it will be next week.
Okay, and it's officially been introduced already, though, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Perhaps November, December committee meetings would be the first opportunity to have bill heard.
Right. Thank you.
I'm hoping a little soon.
Me being a grandparent, I would like to know, what can we do? How do we get involved to let these people know to support this bill?
very good question. You can make sure that the community and your friends know about this bill, and that you write to the legislators that are represented by you to get them to co-sponsor the bill. The more co-sponsors we have, the easier it is for it to pass through. So that's what one of the suggestions I would make.
And also, if you could follow how the bill is referenced, it's important to contact the committee chairman or chairwoman. They're the ones who get the bills heard and get the bill moving. So they're important people in this process to get it moving.
But I would say the best way you can help is to have yourself and all your family members, all your friends call their legislators. I mean, physically pick up the phone and make a phone call. You know, my thing, I'm opposed to emails because you can easily block those. Okay. But when you make a phone call, somebody actually has to answer that phone and record that message. So just encourage everybody you know to pick up the phone and call their legislators.
Senator, obviously you have a family member here. You're looking at in the eyes of the people who you're trying to prevent another family member just like this. Anything you want to say to him being here, knowing that you're doing this for Miles?
We have no real words other than we're just so very sorry to have such a young person with a bright future to have to be in this situation where they did not get recognized as being in the car, and the parents have to live with this now for the rest of their lives. And there's not any words that I can say other than I'm so sorry, but that's never enough. That's just never enough. What I can say is we have legislation that we are going to work very hard to move forward so this does not happen in the future to others. So I know that Miles's mom will be happy to hear that at least his death will mean something in the future for others. Anything else? Y'all have great questions. Thank you very much. Did you want to say anything? No?
Co-sponsor.
Carlos Smith is co-sponsoring.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.